What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Poppy Frill Blaster, aka Rope God.
Rope God. Rope God.
Yeah. And today I'm coming at y'all with a deep.
How to get deep 360 waves.
You know, I did a video on how to get good connections. You know, I did a video on how the angles, the 8-angle breakdown on how to get good waves and good connections and not to overlap, you know what I'm saying, to avoid forks and all that. I do a lot of videos, but I never did a video on how to get deep 360 waves. Alright, so this video is based on that. So pay close attention because it's pretty simple. You know, I'm just gonna tell y'all the simple things. This video ain't gonna be long because I know my videos normally be long. I'm just gonna get straight to the point and just explain it as fast as I can. Alright, so y'all keep it locked. Alright, YouTube, so how you get deep 360 waves? Basically, like I tell you guys all the time, all you have to do is woof. Woof, woof, woof. And while you woofing, you know, you have to use that hard brush all the time. Add that hard brush and comb in your arsenal all the time while you woofing. You know, y'all know my videos are based off my hair texture. I based off my experience and how I got, you know, my waves. They can look how they look. And I just explained to you guys that, and y'all can try it if y'all want. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about all them other hair textures, but just for coarse hair, this is what I got. You know what I'm saying? I'll teach you guys basically of what I know, and then you guys do it and try it. But this right here though, it goes for all hair textures though. It's simple. Everybody woof. You gotta woof. You're not gonna see no progress if you don't woof. To get them deep 360 waves, you gotta comb. You know, add that comb in your arsenal. Comb. It don't matter what type of comb it is. Add that comb into your arsenal. That is very important when you woofing because you want to get down to that scalp. You want to use a hard brush, medium brush, and a soft brush. You gotta have 3 brushes. Alright? Also, to get deep 360 waves, you gotta use, when you woofing, use a good pomade, you know. As y'all know, I got Royal Kingdom pomade. You guys can get that. You know what I'm saying? Or you can get any other pomade that you feel like that'll work for you, that got a good hold for you. There's many pomades out there. I don't really recommend that you use a non-natural pomade, but you can if you want though. You know, everybody different, so if you choose to, that's on you. You can. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't recommend it. I'll use everything all natural because you want your hair to, you know, get it as healthy as it can. And if you feeding your hair chemicals that's not all natural, then it's bad for you. So I wouldn't recommend it, but you can if you want. But another thing is too, you gotta use a mirror brush all the time. You know, mirror brushing is very important. That way you can see how your hair growing, you can see how each angle you hitting and all that. You know, but mirror brushing is very important too. Another thing that I always tell you guys too, to get deep 360 waves, is you have to stay ragged up. Okay, basically deep 360 waves, that's pretty much just definition, depth. You know, if you want depth in your waves, then of course you gotta woof. And then when you get that first cut, you're gonna see progress if you got a successful woof. But when you woofing, compression is very important. So when you growing your hair out, you know, you gotta make sure that you at least double compress. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't saw my double compression video, I'll put the link to that video in the description box below. If you're not brushing, then you ragged up. You know, I understand we all have jobs. You know, some jobs, you know, if you work at like a business or something, like a table, you know, a clerical job or something, and you got a business and it requires wearing a suit, you can't be ragged up at work. So it's gonna be hard for you to get those deep waves. I'm just gonna be real with you. You know, being that I work in the warehouse, I could stay ragged up. You know what I mean? It don't really matter. I could stay ragged up. But for you guys who can't stay ragged up at work and stuff, I recommend that you just use a plastic bag. You know, use a plastic bag because all it is basically you trying to keep your waves laid. So that's why we rag up. So when our hair is growing, you know, it's growing but it's compressed as it's growing, and that's gonna help for them waves to get deep. You know what I'm saying? So as it's growing, if you're doing this every day and you can't wear the rag, but you're doing this every day, you plastic bagging and you keep it constantly laid, that's gonna help. You know. Whereas if you're just not doing anything, you at work and you like, oh man, I can't rag up, and you just stressing out because you can't stay ragged up. Use this right here. You know, I don't recommend that you brush at work though, because it's gonna frizz your hair up, you know. So if you're not wearing a rag on, if you don't have a rag on and you at work, for hours at a time, you can't rag up. It's gonna frizz up, so you wanna use this to keep it laid. That's the whole thing. We wanna keep our waves laid. That's how you get deep 360 waves. So that's how I got my deep 360 waves. I'm just keeping it real with you. And it's gonna take time, like everything in waving, it takes time. But that's just how I got my 360 waves though, for real. Just brushing a lot, staying ragged up all the time after a session, using the good, nice products, adding a washing style. That's another thing too. Washing style at least once a week, but I prefer to do it twice a week. But if you can't do it twice a week, once a week is fine too, you know. But that washing style is gonna help. When your hair is wet and you brushing, using a hard brush when your hair is wet, it's gonna help you get to get deep waves too, because it's gonna be easier for your hair to move in the direction that you want it to move. So, because your hair is wet, you know what I'm saying? Especially being that soap in there too, it's gonna give it a little bit of hold as you brush it and more pull. So that's gonna help with deep 360 waves too. So that's pretty much all, you know. Wolf, hard, medium, soft brush, comb, as well. Add the comb into your arsenal. You will see progress when you get a haircut, and you will see definition. They'll see them things from far away. That's what definition is, pretty much, is depth. You know what I mean? Deep waves. You know what I'm saying? So, and you get a good pomade when you woofing. And if you stay ragged up at all times, if you're not brushing, stay ragged up. If you're brushing for sure. Right after a session, don't let your hair just breathe and just walk outside and just chill out and go to the store or whatever you're doing. No, you gotta keep your rag on. Rag up immediately after the session. This is serious. We're taking this serious. If you want them deep waves, that's what you gotta do. As soon as you get done with your session, throw that rag on. You feel me? If you can't, like I said, if you can't, throw that rag on. If you at work or something, plastic bag, keep that in your arsenal too, as well. But with that said, man, I'll try to keep this video as short as possible. You know, I'm out of here, but make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Make sure you guys like the video. I'm gonna bring some different content to my channel too, because I pretty much cleared up a lot of things on waving, on just waving content. So it's time to bring something new to the table. So I'm gonna bring some different content to the table real soon, but I'm just trying to figure out exactly how I'm gonna do it and, you know, plan it all out. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it though. Thanks for watching. Your boy Poppy Fro Blasted, signing out. Salute.